Let's see. All right, I think I'm live everywhere. Yep. YouTube is good. Twitch is good. Let's give it a minute to see if we get some people to join. So while I'm waiting for a few people to join, let's do a few things. Let's see. I should have done this beforehand, but man, I didn't do it. I need to change my settings in Twitch.
Oh, I forgot about TC
always
with
forget
Houston.
to do this, man. I always forget. I don't know why, but I do. Alright, so that's good. And the other thing that I need to do is going to be related to YouTube. And make sure that those settings are set properly. I don't know why this didn't work, man. Yeah, I need to see what's going on here. I swear I did a yeah, I don't know what happened here. So let's do an edit. That's not it. Let's see. Is this it? Alright, I need to get one thing set up in here. Trying to get this figured out now. There it goes. That's what I was looking for. All right, let me close out of this. I think we're fine. I don't know what happened last week. For some reason, the stream that I did last week, um, I got this message that it was I. What is it? Something I guess on my stream either got I don't think it got banned, but I mean, what they pretty much mentioned that my live stream for last week, there must have been something on there, either some sound or some context or something that I must have done that ultimately made it where that video, you know, I you know what the message that I received was I was gonna lose any kind of um monetary, from that live stream because of again, I don't really care that much about that, but that's not, it's just odd. Like I'm trying to figure out, well, what did I do? Like what? I don't think we did anything last week that I recall that was that would have made my video not get banned, but ultimately lose monetary um value, I guess, right? People still watch it. People could go and stream it from my channel, but the view count on that really, if there was any monetary outcome from that, pretty much gets lost. I don't know. It's very strange, man. Not sure what happened. Um, who knows? But either way, though, as people start to join in, again, another series, another episode of Drinking with Lou. And that's what we do. We're going to drink. I'm going to drink. You can drink along with me. And we're going to talk tech. Different things related to tech, right? Do you have any code that you want me to review? By all means, this is the time. This is the place. If you have an issue that you're trying to solve, if you got stuck with something, again, this is the time. Bring it up. Leave a comment. Be more than happy to discuss it. We could try to figure out a solution for it. Maybe it's none of the above. Just wanna just hang out and talk. By all means, let's join in. Let's just talk. But that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna have a drink. We're gonna talk. Um. So this is the tequila that I'm tasting this week, which is called Un Por Favor, which translates to one please. Believe, like one, that's why you have the number one. It says uno por favor, so like one please. I think what I'm trying to say, like, give me one shot please. I'm trying to see what the back says. I read some good things about this tequila. So I'm very interested to see how good it tastes. The bottle, I gotta say, I like the bottle. Bottle very unique. It's heavy, man. It feels heavy for some reason. I don't know if it just because most bottles are kind of skinny on top. Do you have all the weight in the bottom? This one is kind of the opposite, man. It's kind of hard to tell, but it's actually skinny in the bottom, and the top piece is thicker. So you have all the weight, right? More so on top, and then of course you have this maybe aluminum type label, which I like, right? It's not like a paper label, even the back. So it's some sort of, I don't know, alumina, my guess, right? Some kind of metal. It's nice. This is plastic. This actually would have been cool. They would have made the same as the label, but I get it, right? This probably would have cost more, and like anything, you would have to raise the price. But let me go ahead and open the bottle and let's give this a taste. Damn, can I open this up? There it goes. Let me just pull the label off. Got it. So we'll see how good this tequila tastes. Again, uno por favor. We'll see how good it tastes. I heard a good thing, some good things about it, man. So I'm curious to see how good it's gonna be. Again, anybody who's joining, man. Again, we're gonna relax. It's Friday. We're gonna drink. If you have anything tech related that you wanna discuss, by all means, I'm all ears. if you have any code that you want me to review, any kind of issue that you're stuck with that maybe you want my help on related, Python related, by all means, you're more than welcome to put it in the chat. I'd be more than happy to take a look at it and see what we could do. If you do have any source code that you do want me to take a look at, you could go ahead and just email it at, I'm putting it in the chat. It's contact@imlu.net. You're more than welcome to email me there. I have my email open as we speak. So if there is any messages coming through, I'll be able to take a look at it. So where's my cup? Got my cowboy cup today, boys. So I'm also rocking a new camera. I don't know if you could tell the difference of quality. I was doing some testing earlier, and dude, it looks. I even compared videos of some other videos I made on my old camera. Dude, it looks way. I think it looks way different. This is a 4K camera that I have on right now that I'm streaming. Even though it's 4K, I don't believe my input right now in my stream is in 4K. Now it's still, because it's a 4K input, at the end of the day, you still see a lot of the quality, right, of 4K, the details to it in my stream and, what you're seeing. But either way, it's a Blackmagic Pocket 4K camcorder. So what I like about it, so what I had before was a Canon, and where is it? This is the camera that I was rocking before, right, for my live stream. It's a good camera, takes real good pictures, but there's some issues that I had with it as well. Had some, when I was streaming with my Canon M50 camera, in order to keep the stream going, like my camera not turning off, I needed to have the app on my phone, and then I need to connect it via Bluetooth or Wi-Fi to my camera and keep it on. Ultimately, what it does, whenever the app is connected to the camera, it allows the camera to stay on longer than the 30-minute window. By default, after 30 minutes, the camera shuts off. Again, this is a camera to take a photography camera first, and then of course a video camera second. So, it's more designed to take pictures, but it has the recording capabilities and streaming capabilities as well. And because you could change the lenses, you get good quality as well. This camera, now this is not 4K, this is just, HD. Now the camera that I'm rocking right now, it's a Blackmagic camera. Now what I like, it's actually a cinema camera, and it's a camcorder first and a camera second. Now the camera is not necessarily as good, where the Canon M50 camera, this takes awesome pictures, but the new camera that I'm using for streaming, it's not designed really to take pictures. It can take pictures, but it's not as good to taking pictures. It's more so designed, it's a cinema camera, right? More so designed to do, to record videos, but it's a 4K camera. So y'all let me know if y'all can tell the difference. Those of y'all who had joined my live streams in the past, if it looks better. And then of course I got a new lens as well. And what I like about the lens is it makes my background more blurry. And then of course, I don't know if you kind of tell, but my hands and my face is very in focus, but the background has that light blur to it, right? So I was not getting that with this. I could have if I would have bought a different lens, and a different lens would have done the job. But again, I had issues with the camera where the limitations of 30 minutes, it shuts off. So I've been testing this today. I've been having this on for a couple of hours now, and haven't had no issues. It's been on consistently for a couple of hours. Man, it's working fine. I think the quality is awesome. So, but either way, I'm gonna be testing it out some more the next couple of days, and probably do, kind of give you my review on that. But hopefully those of you who are joining, man, y'all doing good on this Friday night. Again, it's a series, Drinking with Lou. We're going to end up drinking. Let me go ahead and pour my drink. But today I'm drinking Uno Por Favor. Blanco tequila. So I heard good things about it. Let me give it a taste and see how good it really is. Ooh, I can smell it, dude. That smells good. That smells real good. Hey, what's up, Christopher? Yeah, I mean, it should be better. I mean, at least in my mind, based on what I did some recordings, that kind of compared it to my previous camera that I was using, the Canon M50, and it seemed like it was better anyways. But hopefully you're seeing the difference as well on your end. So again, I'm gonna be doing some more testing with the camera. I believe tomorrow I have a YouTube video that I'm doing. I'm actually doing some testing. I had a request from a viewer. Actually, I had a Zoom meeting with a viewer. When was it? On Thursday, and I was trying to help him out with one of the issues that he had related to connecting to a Sharepoint list using Python. So either way, we figured out that the reason why the video that I put together for him didn't work was the code that I put together was for the Office 365, like the cloud version, right, of Sharepoint. Well, he was using a corporate on-prem Sharepoint, and that's done. Is done differently. The Python code was slightly different for that. So I actually deployed. I have a sandbox environment in Azure, and I deployed a virtual machine, and I have Sharepoint installed. I finally got that. I got it installed yesterday, I believe. When did I meet with the guy? I think it was it had to be Thursday. Yeah, so I got it set up yesterday. Today's Friday. It was yesterday. I got it set up. I started doing a little bit of testing today, and I got some of it finally kind of working. But there's a few things I need to test out. So hopefully once I get that wrapped up, I'll be doing a video on connecting to Sharepoint via Python, but for on-prem Sharepoint, not the Office 365 cloud version, because it is slightly different. So either way, that's something that I'm testing out and hopefully get that wrapped up. I'll probably make a video over that. So tomorrow I'm going to finish up my testing, and if everything works well, then I'll make a video related to that Sharepoint on-prem. I actually got a request from a few viewers as well, like, hey, can you make a video related to Sharepoint on-prem? And the only reason why I really haven't done it yet, because Office, the Sharepoint for Office 365, I already have that set up. It's part of my account, so there's nothing for me to do. So, I've been getting requests, and so decided to go ahead and make it. But yeah, I'll get that released, hopefully done tomorrow after I do my testing, and that will be my next video to do tomorrow, and get that released tomorrow. And I need to look at my emails. I've been getting a few requests from different people as well, like, hey, can you make a video related to this and video related to this? I think one of the requests that I got was, can you do a video of, we want to pull files from Sharepoint, and we want to take those files from Sharepoint, and we want to migrate it over to a AWS S3. And again, that shouldn't be a problem either. Like I have worked on projects where I download data from Sharepoint, right? So I've done that piece already. I have worked on other projects, and I actually have even the app that I that's in beta version right now, my Go Share It app. That's pretty much what it's doing as well. When somebody uploads a file through the UI, it's pretty much what it's doing is saving that file temporarily to the server hard drive in a temp folder, and then once it's finished, uploading, right, and saving, it takes that file and then ultimately moves it over to an S3 bucket, and then of course deletes the file because it's in a temp folder. But again, overall, I just ultimately, just connecting the two, right? Downloading Sharepoint files, and then taking those files and uploading it to AWS S3. And ultimately, that could be done for sure for like data migration, right? If you just want to migrate all your files from a SharePoint, especially if you're dealing with lots of files, right? I mean, you could be if you're dealing with hundreds of files or even thousands of files, or even big files. Doesn't matter. You know, that's probably why the request came up. But I did get a request related to that. So I've done both pieces of it where I have, I have a script, process to upload files to AWS S3. And of course, I have done the downloading piece of SharePoint. Ultimately, you need to put it together, make a video where everything kind of connects, and to satisfy that request. But I need a review. I'm trying to get a little bit more better on my on how I'm managing the requests. I'm starting to get more and more requests like, hey, can you make a video for this, make a video for that, and so just I need to get a little bit more organized. Haven't been as organized the way I should. So now let's go ahead and taste this tequila again. So this is the one I'm drinking called Uno Por Favor. Tequila Blanco. I always get Blanco. I love the Blanco tequilas. So do the smell. It smells good. It has a real good smell, I gotta say. Tastes good. It actually has a good taste. Real good smell. I love that strong agave smell. Something about it, dude. I just love it. It's real strong. It's real good. And it tastes good. Gotta say, man, this is some good stuff. I mean, I heard a lot of good things about it, but sometimes it's kind of hard to tell if it's actually gonna be good or not. This is good, man. I will be buying this bottle again. Normally, what I do once I buy a bottle like this bottle, if I don't drink it anymore, I may just keep it. If it's good, I may drink it little by little bit over time. But eventually, once I go back to the store, I'll buy another bottle. Just kind of keep to the side, so when people come over or whatever, we have something to drink. Try out different, different tequilas to recommend. Let's see. SharePoint URL documents to S3 directly. It's a great feature, especially if you want to do some processing. Yep. No, I completely agree. Like I think when it comes to that request, right? The whole SharePoint, like we want to be able to move files from a SharePoint folder over to S3. It could be for many different reasons, right? It could be for archive reasons. It could be maybe for the purpose of, hey, we're migrating off of Office 365. And because you're going to migrate off of it, you need to now find a new location for your files. So you need a way to go ahead and migrate everything over to an S3 bucket. Or it could be what you mentioned as well, right? Where files are being saved in there, but you may want to go ahead and take it and, process it to either through an ETL process like AWS Glue, to do some analysis over it. I mean, the list goes on, right? On what the user may want to do. So, I think that would be a good video to end up doing. The video I probably would do first would be the one that I'm doing testing over, which is the connecting to an on-prem SharePoint with Python and ultimately accessing the SharePoint list. And then being able to download that list to their Excel or, in memory in Python, whatever you want to do with it. Because I'm already doing testing over that. So I should be done tomorrow. But I think that request will be my next video. The whole SharePoint documents to S3. And I may end up doing one eventually later on, which will be a SharePoint documents to Azure storage blob, especially for the folks that are like integrated completely with Microsoft all the way, where they're using Office 365 and they're using the Azure, cloud as well. That will probably be a good video to make as well. Same concept, but instead of being AWS is Azure, where the file will get migrated over to. And again, it will be the equivalent, which storage blobs is the kind of the equivalent of a S3 bucket. Let's see. In my case, I do a lot of text analysis, regular expressions, yep, NLP. So normally I work locally, but having the docs in S3 and the core processing power will make it smoother. Yeah, no, I totally agree. Like, it's in those cases, it actually makes a lot of sense to have a process to migrate those files over, for sure. Um, and that's something I may keep in mind when I make the video, because I think we could the way I may make the video to kind of to satisfy a few requests would be not just SharePoint, but I think we could make I could create a few connections where it'd be like, all right, it could be either SharePoint, you're moving documents from a SharePoint to S3, maybe it's local environment, like your local computer, you have files on local computer to an S3. I'll pick a few options on that, at least those two for now. There's always more options, of course, where you're connecting to a Dropbox account and so on. But I think just for now, those will probably be the two options, the two inputs that probably make sense. Local to an S3 bucket, and of course SharePoint documents to an S3 bucket. Oh man, I appreciate it. Appreciate it. So the one thing that I am trying to do with my videos, and hopefully it's coming out that way. I mean, that's what I'm hoping, anyways. Is I'm trying to make videos that are like real world example videos, right? Like, I know there's other creators out there, by all means, that are making videos, and I've seen some of them, like a good amount of them. And one of the things though that I noticed a lot of people do is, you know, they're trying to teach how to do certain features, but they're using examples that are not real world, scenarios, right? It's kind of like, hey, we're gonna do a tic-tac-toe game. Like, they're trying to show you how to do certain things, certain features and how to use certain functions or whatever. But at the same time, it's like they're using examples that are not real examples. I'm trying to do the same thing, but I'm trying to use either real projects that I have worked on, or as I get requests from people, they're asking me this because these are like real projects, like real examples that they could utilize, or they're planning to utilize, in their, at work, or their personal projects or whatever it may be. Most of the time, I think it's actually like work. Some of the requests I'm getting seems to be more so related to, like, they're trying to implement this and use this in their actual work, what they work at today. Which again, it's good because that's where I feel it makes it more relatable. Whenever I first started programming, the way I got into programming was I actually got into database, working on databases first. So I spent probably a good 2-3 years SQL, pretty much heavily, right? Dealing with databases, creating, SQL tables, then SQL views, then eventually SQL procedures, then SQL functions, and, creating tables and indexing and all of that stuff, right? That, and even some things that relate to DBAs. So I think once I made a switch on learning to program, I already had a lot of the fundamentals. Like, there's a lot of fundamentals that I learned with some of those 2-3 years of just dealing with databases. Because in databases, you deal with data types just like the way you do in programming, right? You deal with strings, integers, floats, things of that nature, right? Dates. So you're dealing with data types just like the way you would in programming. You're dealing with variables as well. So all of that kind of, it's slightly different, but a lot of the stuff you're dealing with at data, like if you're just querying data, not so much. But if you're actually creating programmatic procedures and functions in databases, which I was, that's where you become a lot of the stuff that you learn in programming. I kind of learned there as well. And so whenever I started to program, it made it a lot easier. And for me, whenever I got started, it was more so because at my job, we used to build processes and for operations, And then so a lot of the stuff that we're trying to build was to like automate some of the processes. And sometimes they require technology to like automate certain processes. It's not just like I mean, we're dealing with physical processes, but there's stuff in the physical process that could get automated. And I remember we had a talk with our IT team, and we had a meeting. Again, at the time, I was not a programmer at all. Never programmed. I've only worked with SQL databases, and that's it. So, but at the time, we had a meeting with our IT, with people that have been programming for years and so on. And we're like, hey, this is what it would be cool if we could build an app to do X, Y, and Z. And then, of course, their response was like, well, no, we can't do that. That's too complicated. That's not doable. Again, that's what they told us. Now, at the end of the day, I think they're full of shit. And the reality of it is they probably didn't want to do it, and they don't want to spend the effort and do it. That's a whole different issue. But the way they made it sound was like, oh, it can be done. And I don't know why, man. I got pissed off. I was like, dude, it can be done. I know it can. I don't know how to do it, but I know it can be done. So what I went at the time, this was maybe like 7 years back. What was it, Coursera, I believe. I went on to a Coursera course. At the time, Coursera was free. They were still kind of testing their models, so everything was free. All the course, it's not free no more. I believe you got to pay for most of it, but at the time it was free. I did a programming fundamentals course. Again, it wasn't related. It wasn't. I did not pick it because of Python. I picked it more because I'm trying to get familiar with programming fundamentals. And I picked it up quick. A lot of the stuff I kind of learned already when I did working on database. And so, man, I picked it up real quick. And we just happened to use Python at the time for those for that course. So of course, once I finished that course, I stick with Python because that's kind of what we use in the tutorials and in the course. And then I started building. Like ultimately, I built an app that did a few things. It was extracting data from PDFs. It was loading the data into a database. It was extracting data from an Excel file. It was sending the data in a specific format, XML format, over to the system, where the system was able to import it and create, like system records. What else did it do? It was able to print. I built it where on where we print. It was able to query the database, get back data based on an ID. You had to put in like some kind of order ID, and we hit search. It queried the database. It retrieved data from the database, and the data that I retrieved, it ultimately generated. I was able to generate a PDF document with all the data in its place. Then they just hit print to print it out. So, man, there's a lot of little things that I did like that. And that was my first app that I ever built. And I didn't even have, I didn't even have that kind of experience, like programming. But my mind was so focused on, I need to build this. Like, I know if we built this, it's going to be able to automate all this, operational process. And I did, man. All those, when I look at it, dude, those are a lot of, like, little detail features, especially for somebody who never programmed at the time, and that was my first app programming. So, but I think by going through that experience and like grinding it out, like, dude, I was spending hours and hours every day, work every weekend, working on it, so that just like expedited my learning, I guess, of Python and programming in general, like real quickly. And then after that, little by little bit, just started building other apps. Me and a buddy of mine, we started doing some data extraction from Fanduel. Fanduel back in the days, the whole betting, sports betting app. I don't know if it is now, but back in the day, we were able to identify their API that they were using. And the API, ultimately, just like any API, but they had this sequence value. So as the sequence changed, like, let's say the number was 10,000, then it will, 10,001, 2, and so on and so on. Well, we saw that pattern, so we created some scripts. So like, hey, we're gonna extract data from FanDuel from a specific range, and we're getting bets that were occurring like in real time. Now, I would say we weren't really seeing no data that we shouldn't have seen. It's not like we're seeing what people betted before the matches started. That's not what was happening. But what we did get is we were able to identify who the winners, like who's winning, and then like after the match, we were able to pull all their data, and then we were seeing their lineups, and we're able to see like, well, which players are they picking, you know, do we find a pattern over time of these players? That's what we're trying to do ultimately, right? That was the goal. We're pulling like, I want to say probably 1 million plus records of data per day that we used to, when we were running the script. So again, it was a cool project, cool experience. It really didn't turn out to what we were expecting to turn out, which ultimately was try to aggregate all the data, analyze it, try to find these patterns for the people that are winning a lot, and try to find a strategy that they're using, and then ultimately try to implement that strategy ourselves. That was the ultimate goal. We really didn't get to that point, but the data we're pulling, dude, it was like over 1 million plus records a day, and this was years back. I'm pretty sure now, since betting has increased so much, it's probably even tens of millions of records now per day. So that was a pretty cool experience, I think. But there's all kinds of little projects like that I have built a desktop app. There's just of course web apps, and then now of course I focus more on back end stuff, APIs. I just do build like the web app that I build, right? My app, the Go Share It app that I have. So it's still in beta testing. There's a few things, there's some new features that we're working on and releasing. But nevertheless, we're having people testing it out. And then if there's any bugs, we're trying to address these bugs. So hopefully we get all that straightened out in the next, 2 months or so. But man, that's, just one of those things over time, right? Just kind of keep at it over time, programming. I would say there was a time that I switched where I was doing Python, like, for a while, then I stopped for a while, and then I ended up doing, what was I doing? I think I was doing C# and JavaScript for a while, mainly JavaScript, but C# as well, and I was like doing that for probably a good year, and then I ended up going back to Python, and man, there's a few things that I forgot. I didn't forget everything, but man, there's a few things that I forgot, and I guess that's what happens, right, when you don't do something for a while. But once I got back at it, man, it literally took maybe a couple days, and a lot of stuff started coming back very easily. And then, of course, now Python, my main language that I deal with. I deal with JavaScript because I do deal with web apps. So, in my mind, they kind of go hand in hand. Python and JavaScript, you need to work with both. But those are probably the two main languages that I still interact with on a daily basis, I guess. Database, I'm in a database every day, man. We have a few databases that we deal with. Two SQL Server. Well, we have like a dev SQL Server database, and we have a what I call shared SQL Server database. And the reason why I call it shared is I have a few clients of mine, so they all share that one database. But I have a third SQL Server database that's a dedicated database to one of my clients, and then that's ultimately because that was their request. Their request was, we want this to be a dedicated database. That was a requirement, which is fine, right? I'm going to charge them a premium, but that was their request, so we have it that way. And then we have two Postgres databases, and I also have a Amazon Azure Postgres database, and then of course a Redshift database that we use for one of our clients right now on Data Warehouse. So I'm always hopping in all over the place when it comes to databases, whether it be SQL, Postgres, or Redshift, which are like the main ones that I'm dealing with and joining every day. Let's see. So hopefully all of y'all doing good, man, on this Friday. Any of y'all drinking? What are y'all drinking? Y'all drinking some water today, some Gatorade, which is fine, by all means, or y'all drinking some, a beer, some liquor? Like, what are y'all drink of choice today? Man, where'd I put my phone? Let me go get my phone. I think I left my phone on the charger. Let's see. So let's do a little bit of, again, if y'all have any questions, man, code related, by all means, let me know. I'd be more than happy to see what I could do to help y'all out if that is the case. I wanted to do some testing. I'm just trying to think if I share my screen related to this, it relates to S3 and S3 bucket in Python, but I may need to get a new environment set up for that. I'm just trying to think if there's anything that's kind of more on the sensitive side for me to show, but that's the only kind of tough thing when on some of these streams that I do is there's a few things that I actually do want to show y'all to kind of go over, but I'm just not 100% sure if, I mean, I have to kind of go through and vet it and make sure there's nothing sensitive for me to show. Because if there is, then of course I'm live, right? I cannot edit it. At least with a recording, I could go back and edit that out if that is the case. So let's see. Okay, so what I could do for now is I think this should be fine to share this. Well, no, you know what? I can't do it. Or can I? You know what? This is fine. Cause you know what? It doesn't matter if you see my damn, it does matter because this is a no, you know what? It doesn't matter. Let me, I could do this. Let me share my screen over this. I'm gonna do some testing over the Sharepoint on-prem. Even if you see my credential, it doesn't matter because it's strictly on that local server and it's a dummy server. I mean, it's for the development. I'm gonna delete it once I'm done making the video. So this is strictly just for testing right now. So I think it should be fine. Let me go ahead and do that. But before I do that, I just got a message right now from my the guy that cuts my grass. I think he's going to do the fertilizer tomorrow for my grass. Yeah, it says coming tomorrow afternoon. Got it. Cool. All right. So unless y'all have anything that y'all would like to kind of have me look or review, then yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and do some testing over the Sharepoint on-prem. So let me go ahead and connect to the server right quick. So I'm gonna RDP into the server. So let me get that set up. And again, you are going to see some credentials and things of that nature in here that relate to the server, but it's not a big issue. And the reason why I say it's not a big issue is because it's strictly a virtual machine that was designed to do testing over SharePoint. And I'm going to delete it once I'm done with it. So if I'm able to solve this tomorrow, get it tested out, then yep, it's pretty much done. I'm deleting the server, so I'm not too concerned. Even if somebody were to hack into it, while I'm live streaming, by all means, there's nothing sensitive in there at all. It's all dummy data, so it doesn't matter at all. Cool. So let me go ahead and RDP in. Let's see. SharePoint dev. SharePoint dev. All right, where is this? Yep, there it goes. Let me put in my credentials. Oh, that's not it. What the hell? There it goes. Why are they not connecting? What the hell? Oh, don't tell me once. No, it should connect. What the hell's going on? Oh, man. Never mind. Password's wrong. That's why. There it goes. Okay, so let me go ahead and share my screen. So this is the SharePoint that I deployed against the SharePoint dev. It's on-prem. I kind of try to mimic to what I have from the cloud version, Office 365. So I created a client list. Right now we have one record in here. Ultimately, the goal is to tweak the code that I have from the client list and ultimately make it fit over here. Like, go ahead and test it out. So I'm going to run that on this server. But now what I don't have here in the server is I don't have Python installed. So I need to go ahead and get that installed. Let's go to downloads. Yep, we could get this bad boy downloaded. I should have got this already installed, but man, I completely forgot. Why is it not running? What the hell is happening? Alright, there it goes. So, let's go back. What the hell did I do? Nope. I hate doing this, so I like to do mine is add to Python pass all users, custom installation. That's fine. Install for all users. So those of y'all who are new and installing, I'm not a big fan of installing it under your user account, because what ultimately that means, you can only be the one that uses it. And if you're trying to have maybe processes to try to automate, where maybe you have like task scheduler running or whatever, I think it adds issues. So it's better to do install for all users. Let's see. All right, so let's get that installed. Just kind of curious, those of y'all who are watching, which cloud provider do y'all use right currently? Do y'all like either personally or in your organization? Is it Azure? Is it AWS? Is it what cloud? Google Cloud? What is it? Analytics or whatever it's called? There's others. Those are of course the three main ones. Some of the other ones are, what is it? The IBM. What the hell was it called? IBM something. And then of course you have like DigitalOcean and Linode and things of that nature. But I'm just curious on what do y'all either you use personally for personal projects or at work. And is there a reason why you use one over the other, or they just more so like, hey, Doesn't matter. They're all the same. So I use AWS, and I've been using AWS for, man. So I've been having my business for, it's going to be 4 years this September. So even before I started my business, I used to use it personally. But when I use it personally, I used to use very little resources. It was maybe to, I used to get the 12 months free, like the instance, right? Which is like a very small instance, just to do some basic stuff or whatever, or do things of that nature. Ever since I started my company, though, I've been, I use AWS, and I have a few servers. I think I have 5 servers right now, but only out of those 5, only 4 are actually running. I think 2 of them are dev servers and 2 are production servers. And then of course databases, RDS instances. I have 5 maybe. Postgres dev, Postgres production, SQL dev, SQL Server production, then of course Redshift, and then of course I use a lot of the other features as well. I think now because I'm using some of these other features like AWS Glue, Lambda, just kind of some of those features. It almost like I like those features, but I do feel though once you start building around these features, I think it kind of locks you in, man. When you think about it, it keeps you locked into that ecosystem where if you're trying to leave AWS to go to Azure, it may not be as straightforward as just leaving if you're using like AWS Glue and some of the other features, because those you cannot take with you. You're gonna ultimately have to rebuild those in whatever new environment you're using, right? So if you're switching from AWS to Azure, you would have to find the equivalent of what Azure has that may do some of that, right? Like in their case, for like AWS Glue, it would be what Azure, your data pipeline, I guess, or Synapse or something like that. So you would just have to find the equivalent of that and kind of respin, get familiar with it, rebuild it, do all of that stuff. So I think in those cases it becomes a little bit more harder to just get up and move. I think when you're literally just using a database, a server, like those kind of resources, that's becomes way more easier to just kind of, to get up and move, because that's not as complicated in my mind to do so. Okay, so now that Python has been installed, let me go ahead and oops, I spelled it wrong. So let me go ahead and get this installed. I'm a big fan of their window terminal. I actually like it a lot. Oh, but I need to install. You know what? Forget it. I'm not gonna do all of that for now. Let me just use their command line. It's fine. What the hell, man? Dude, this is going away. Like, what the hell? I wonder if it's because I'm streaming and I'm also remoted into this machine. I can't search nothing, man. I'm trying to open up my terminal, my command prompt. Like, damn it, what the hell? Yep. All right, so that's good. So let me go ahead and create a folder. Let's see. I'm gonna put it under documents for now. Oops. And let me call it Python SharePoint list. All right, so now that I'm in here, let's see. I'm gonna create a virtual environment. Enemy, NDV. So let's get that created first. Hopefully all of y'all use virtual environments on your projects, because man, that's the one thing I tell people that are new, like, get familiar with virtual environments, man. Like, you do not want to install Python and then start installing all these packages on that instance, and then especially if it's your main driver PC. Like, this is a VM that I'm going to delete, so it's not a big issue. I could have just not created a virtual environment, but I'm just in the habit of doing it. But when you have your main driver and then you start installing all these packages on your main, your main instance of Python, like, dude, you're asking for issues in the future, especially when we start dealing with newer versions of packages, right? When you start switching from older version of request to a newer version of the request package, or even the Django, right? You switch it from 3.2 to 4.0 or whatever. It causes all kinds of issues. All right, so let me go ahead and connect. Source script, the scripts. There it goes. What the hell? Let me see something real quick. Oops. What the hell, guys? I think I had this issue before with the terminal, and let me go ahead and install git bash real quick. Where is it at? There it goes. So let's get this installed. I don't care about Git. That's not what I wanted. You know what? Let me install. I believe if I install it, it does install Git bash as well, or at least it would ask me about it. Yep, there it goes. That's fine. So getting the whole SharePoint set up, man, was a pain in the ass, dude. I had to actually run through the process twice. I had to kill my VM, redo it again. It was a pain in the ass. That's all I gotta say. All right, so cool. Now let me go to my documents. Nope, that's not it. Is it users SP admin, then documents? There it goes. Python SharePoint list. There it goes. Source env scripts activate. Got it. All right. So now that I got that in order, what I need to install? Sharepoint. So I'm gonna do pip install Sharepoint. It should install the, what is it, like 0.5.1 maybe. I believe that's like, that's probably the latest version. There it goes. Yep, 0.5.1. All right, cool. Did it install my request? Let me make sure if it has that in here. Yep, there it goes. Request. Got it. All right, cool. I think that's all I need, man. Everything that I need is there. So let me go ahead and get one more thing. Visual Studio Code download. Let me get that installed. Then after this, I think we're good to go. Come on, man. Why is it not downloading? What the hell, man? It's not doing anything. Dude, come on. This is the only thing I need. Why is it not downloading? Can I get it from another source? Dude, what? I mean, it doesn't make no sense. It's not doing anything, man. By downloading, you agree? Okay, but you're not downloading nothing, man. Like, what's going on? All right, cool. That was odd. I don't know why it did not allow me to download. All right, cool. Let's get started, guys. So again, I'm taking the code that I already had from my previous project. So it's not like we're redoing the code. We're gonna make some few tweaks to it, and we'll see if it works. If we're able to connect to the on-prem. I don't need this crap, so let's close out of this. Close all tabs. Why did this close? Like, what the hell, man? Dark mode, got it. Actually like this. Let's see this. High contrast. Cool. So let me open up my project. Yep, I do trust. Okay, so what I'm gonna do here is let me look at the project. I'm looking at it on my other screen real quick. So we're gonna just copy some of this that we have over here. Okay, so let me go ahead and copy this. I'm gonna create a same thing, right? This is part of one of my videos, Python SharePoint list. So I'm gonna call this Sharepoint PY. Let me go ahead and paste this. This is actually kind of small. Let's see, you want to remember blah blah blah. Yep, let's go ahead and get that installed. Oh, also, guys, I forgot to tell y'all. So, one of the things that I'm going to be doing, I think what I'm going to end up doing is probably like a once a month kind of deal. For a few reasons, man. But nevertheless, what I'm going to start doing is I have a lot of equipment, extra equipment, right? I'm a tech guy. I like tech stuff, right? So, for example, I have like what 5 keyboards maybe or so, something like that. I probably have, I don't know, maybe 3 or 4 mice. This one's awesome. It's the Logitech Pro Wireless, dude. Like I use this for gaming. It's light too. It's not heavy. It's light. I use it for gaming. There's no lag or nothing. It's wireless. It's awesome, dude. But nevertheless, I have a lot of. I'm gonna be upgrading my streaming station that I have now that I'm streaming on. I'm gonna keep the GPU because I have a 6900 XT, and again, that's an awesome GPU. But I'm gonna end up redoing everything. I'm gonna get a new motherboard. Probably gonna get an Intel 12 Gen. If I do get an Intel, it will be the 12900K, which is the i9. CPU. I already have a GPU, which I don't need to buy because again, that's pretty much the best GPU you could buy from an AMD standpoint, anyways. And then I'm gonna get some new RAM. But nevertheless, a lot of the parts that I'm starting to get extra parts. I have another motherboard. Either way, just kind of keep sure I'm starting to collect a lot of equipment here and there. So what I'm going to be doing, and it's something I want to probably do and kind of do like once a month at least, where I will give out for free of charge, man, some of my equipment. So if you're in the need of maybe a motherboard, you're in need of some RAM, CPU. I think this one I have a Ryzen 3700X. So whatever it is, right? I'm gonna start giving away some of these items. I still got the original packaging and things of that nature. So, again, just kind of be on the lookout. So if you are in the need of something, man, be more than the way I'm gonna do it is I'm kind of just gonna I'm gonna do like a random type raffle. And I think what I'm going to do, though, for that raffle, and this is something I'm going to probably make a video of, like, as we live stream and make a video or share with everybody, I'm going to actually make an app where it will pull all of my followers, whether it be YouTube, Twitch, TikTok, wherever, right? Those are the main places that I'm at right now. The main place, I'm at everywhere. Like, I'm on, Twitter, and I'm on Instagram and LinkedIn, but when it comes to streaming, those are the main ones, anyways. TikTok, YouTube, and Twitch, where and we'll I'll share that code and we'll work on it together as well. Because maybe I get stuck on something, need some help. But ultimately, I would have the script run, and it's gonna pull all of it's gonna do a random lookup of my followers. So all it takes for you to be a follower. That's it, right? And then but I do want to do something that's more specific, right? Because maybe I don't want to give somebody the CPU that doesn't need a CPU. So that's kind of where I want to add some additional functionality, and that's where I'm thinking of it. It would be a good experience to kind of build together and then also utilize ultimately, right? Be able to utilize it where, you got to be a follower. And then ultimately, whenever, I'll let everybody know what item I'm giving away that month. And then if you're interested, then you just go and, like apply for it, you want to call it, right? Like, sign up for it, and then you'll be part of the pool of the random pick, and then if you happen to be it, hey, you get the item. But just wanted to throw that out there. That's something that I've been thinking of doing. That'll kind of help clear out some items that I have. I mean, they're used items. They're not new, but they're still good. By all means, that somebody could put some use to it, right? Better than going out in the waste field, by all means. So that's something to just kind of just FYI if you're interested in it. But I think the way when I'm thinking, I may to begin with, I may just do something random, like let me know if you're interested in it, and then I'm gonna pick your name, from a list, and then if your name gets picked out, you get the item. But I think it's a good idea, like maybe a good little project to kind of build an app to do that, right? Where you're a follower, and if you are a follower, you know, maybe have the API do some scraping of if you want to register for a specific item. I don't know. I need to think about it, but it would be a nice little project. So either way, let's go ahead and kind of get started with this. Let me make this a little bit bigger so everybody could see. I don't need that no more. Let's close out of it. All right, cool. So this is my Python file, my SharePoint Python file. Hold on. A great video, by the way. Let's see, your browser. Linked worked in Chrome. Linked worked in Chrome. Not sure what I guess what you mean by that. Maybe I missed it. I just noticed my comments right now, so maybe from something I was talking about earlier. About it says your browser linked worked in Chrome. So my bad if I missed it. I didn't have my chat window. I actually had another window covering my chat. I just realized right now that you send the message, but I think I probably missed the conversation of that relates to your message. That was when you were trying to download a VS. Oh, gotcha. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I knew it had to be something, man. It was like, shit, it should be working. It didn't, but I was able to come at it a different way. Um, okay, so now that I have this file, again, so this is part of my video, but again, this file was designed for the Office 365, the cloud version. We're going to use on-prem. So now let me get my other file. The other one would be, what is it? Project. Yeah, project. I think that's what it was called. So they just call it project as well. Cool. All right. So now that we have that, so what we're gonna do that's gonna be different. Oh yeah, you know what? I need my JSON file as well. Forgot about that. All right. So let me get that. Let's create that file, which is config JSON. All right, so let me copy this info. All right, so let me go ahead and stop real quick. I'm gonna stop sharing my screen. There you go. So let me go ahead and get this info copied over. Let me put in my credentials. So let's see, what will be my credentials would be. So in this case, because it's on-prem, it is not going to be the same as like the Office 365, which is normally your email. The on-prem version of SharePoint will be something more like I guess let me share it real quick, because this would actually make sense if I do share it. I just need to delete my password in here. I don't want to show that. All right, so cool, I can share this. So pretty much the username is the domain of your organization. and then of course your username. Like a lot of companies, you know, you have a domain that that your company is using, um, that's which is the corporate domain. Then of course you have your username. Sometimes it's first initial last name, last initial first name, or whatever it is, right? But that's normally what it would be. So let me go ahead and put in my password real quick. All right, cool. So now that I have that in place, so let's make a few changes, right? So like one of the changes we're gonna end up doing is we don't need this Office 365, so that's gonna go. What we're gonna replace it with is gonna be the from request NTLM import HTTP NTLM OS. So if you're not familiar what NTLM is, let's just take a look at it real quick. I don't trust Bing to give me some good results back, so I'm gonna go to Google. So let's do what is. So I believe it's like a network. What is it? What is it called? It's called network. Where does it tell me the name? The network LAN manager. Ultimately, is what it is. But ultimately, it's to authenticate. In this case, it happens to be a in-network application, and so it's a different protocol when it comes to authentication. You know, so that's kind of what that is. So either way, that's where we're bringing that is from the request. We could keep this the version, that should be fine. What else? So all of this is fine. We're able to pull this in. We got JSON site. Oh, you know what? I didn't change my damn site. I need to change that. All right, so let me kind of go back. The site for this is called, I believe it's called Sharepoint. Sharepoint dev. And then also, my bad, that's the URL. The site is called Sharepoint dev sites development. Sites development. All right, so let's try that out. Let me close out of that. Cool. Okay, so now one of the pieces that we're going to actually get rid of, we're going to get rid of all of this. Again, this is strictly for the Office 365. We're not using. What we are going to use is going to be, we're going to call this credentials, HTTP, and ultimately it's going to want username and password. And then when it comes to our site, in order to authenticate, I'm going to comment this out. All credentials. I think that's all we need to provide. So let's see if it works. I'm not sure if it's gonna work, but let's take a look. All right, I'm already in the environment over here. So let's go ahead and run the project. Python project. Oops. Yep, I need to change this. This doesn't exist. There it goes. So now let's run it. Oh, but I don't need this. I don't need that either. Let's comment that out. Okay, so I got an error back. Let's see what is the error saying here. It may be because of my location, Sharepoint Dev. I don't think it's gonna find it by that name, right? So like if I even if I were to test it out, let's test it out. HTTP Sharepoint Dev. Well, maybe we should find it. Let's see if it finds it. If I go to it directly, nope. So you know what? It's not gonna find it unless I change this to localhost. Let's see if it finds it now. Damn, it's not finding it that way either. What the hell? Okay, so that's odd. Why they're not finding it that way? Damn, I cannot even connect to it now. Like, what is going on? So that is odd. Let me go to the IIS. Where's my Internet Information Services? What the hell is going on here, guys? Where there it goes. Why is it not loading up? Where's my IIS at? There it goes. Dude, that made no sense. Sharepoint Dev. Let's browse. You can't find it. That is very odd. Oops. Let me see. I swear I was actually connected to it on. I had that issue the other. See, now it's not even working. Like, what the hell's going on? Like, it's odd, man. I don't know what the hell's going on with that server, but it seems like when had the same issue. I believe it was yesterday when I connected to the server, like RDPN. I was not able to access it through the browser, but once I disconnected from the server, then I was able to access it from the browser through the IP address. But that makes no sense. Like, why, if I'm remote in, why should that have anything to do with me being able to access? Like, why would that not work? Yeah, I don't get it, man. And here's the thing: I have dealt with Internet Information Services before. I never had those issues before. Um, I'm not a big fan of it as much, but that's a whole different story. But still, I haven't had those kind of issues, so I have no idea why now. System out of memory. So what? You know what? I think that's the same issue I got last time. I don't get it, man. Like, I have enough memory. I know I do. Dude, that makes no sense. And maybe I think that's why it worked last time. And once I rebooted the machine and tried again, I guess I had enough memory. But I know, I mean, I still should have enough, man. Like, what the hell? It's not able to connect. So what do I have open that I could close out? Let me put it that way. So I need the browser open though. I can't close everything out. I don't need this open. So that got closed out. Let me go ahead and restart this. That's not working. Yeah, it just doesn't make any sense, man. So let me do this, cause man, this sucks. I hate doing this. It should work, man. All right. Either way, I got everything saved. Got that created. Let me go ahead and save this. Let me close out of this. And I'm gonna do a reboot on this. Oh, there's an update. What the hell? Update and restart. So I'm gonna go ahead and get that updated, restart it. We will connect back to it, and hopefully, we'll be able to access that. Damn, man, it's already 10:30. It went by pretty quick. So tomorrow I'm actually kind of excited to test it out. I use DaVinci Resolver to do my editing, like for YouTube or anything, right, that I ultimately do for video. I have the free version of DaVinci Resolver, which is, I gotta say, it's awesome, dude. There's a lot of features. It is, it has studio quality features, man. It really does when it comes to video editing. I'm a big fan. So that the camera that I bought, it's a Black Magic camera that DaVinci Resolver, their company, right, they make. Which again, I think that's their name of the company, Black Magic. But either way, they make these cameras. And because I bought one of their cameras, I actually got a free license to their pro version, if you want to call it, their studio version, I guess, DaVinci Resolver. I think it cost like $200-300, so it's nothing expensive either. But nevertheless, I got a code to activate it. So tomorrow, and I believe once you activate it, one of the features that it has that I want to test out is when you do video rendering, like once you do your edits and everything, you got to render your video out. Right now, whenever I do like a 30-minute video, it probably takes a good 15 minutes or so to render that video out. And that's because I've been doing my videos in HD. If I start doing videos in 4K, it's going to take much longer. But on the Pro version, you could use your GPU to do a lot of the rendering aspects of it. But on the free version, it doesn't use your GPU, it uses your CPU. So unless you have a powerful CPU to process everything, it could take longer. So I'm interested to test that out tomorrow, see how good that feature works. So let's go ahead and connect back to SharePoint. Hopefully the updates are done. I don't know if their updates are done though. That's the only thing about it. I don't think it is. Nope, it seems like it's trying to connect, but it's not connecting, so I don't think the updates are done. Nope, not yet. So let's give it about another minute, and we'll try again. Dude, this tequila's smooth too, man. I gotta say, it's real smooth. This is one of those tequilas where you take a shot, it's really not going to burn much at all, man, by you drinking it. It's a smooth tequila. And it doesn't taste like they added a lot of flavoring to it, right? Like Patron or some like 1800, some of these other ones that are manufactured by these big companies, they do add the flavoring, right? There be like a vanilla flavor or lime flavor. They're adding substance to it that's not necessarily natural. Like it's not a natural flavor. It's things that they're adding to make it smoother and taste better. And which is why people that are like very into tequilas, right? Like the authenticity. Did I say it right? The authenticity. I can't even say it right. But the old ways of tequila, like the whole natural way of doing it, getting the natural flavors from the agaves and all that, Like they're not fans of like Patron and 1800, like these big name brands, because what they do is they use like pressure cookers to speed up the process, and then by doing that you could lose some of the flavors. So then what they do, they add a flavor to it, just like, not preserve, what's the word I'm looking for, not additives, they add to it for the flavoring or to make it smoother or whatever. And so I mean, you're drinking something that's not, it may taste good, but it's you're adding sugars, right? You're adding sweeteners and things of that nature to kind of make it smoother. And which is why a lot of people that are like into tequila, like hardcore, like they can't stand those tequilas because of the shortcuts that they're making. All right, let's try again. There it goes. Let me get my password. What's my password for this? All right, cool. We're in. Let's go back. And SharePoint sucks, man. Like when I say sucks, it's it's a beast when it comes to resources. It uses a lot of resources, man. Like even this server that I'm using now, man, it has what, 7 gigs, 8 gigs of RAM, and it's crawling, man. It's running slow as hell, because of SharePoint's installed and running. But there's other stuff running as well too. Like you have SQL Server database installed on here that's running. That takes up resources. Like in order for it to run smooth, you really need at least 16 gigs or more. I just wasn't trying to get 16 gigs installed on this server because I'm gonna have to pay the price for it, and I'm just trying to do some testing on it. So I'm trying to go the cheapest I can, but I think the cheapest I had to go, the lowest I had to go without at least still being productive was 7 gigs or 8 gigs, whatever it is. All right, so let's go back. Let me go ahead and activate my virtual environment. What was it? User documents. Oops. What the hell? Oh, no wonder. Documents. Python. All right. Python SharePoint list. So now let's run. Oh man, I forgot to activate it. Let's activate the environment. So now let's run it. What the hell, man? Am I missing something? Oh, I didn't spell Python correctly. What the hell? No wonder. All right, there it goes. Let's see if I get the same error message as before. So the issue I was having, man, I couldn't even access the SharePoint site. It was giving me a memory system out of memory error message. So let's see if it's able to connect to it this time. Let's look at our resources, man. Let's see where we at. Again, we're already at 85% memory. So how much memory? Oh shit, it worked. Oh, there it goes, dude. We got our data back. That's exactly what I was looking for. Oh, hell yeah. That's what I'm talking about, boy. Yes. It did work. See how we're pulling back street, city, postal. This is all level 1 because it's only one row. And again, to show you, let's go ahead and open up the browser. Hopefully it doesn't crash on me. You know what? I'm not going to open it here. Oh, damn it. Yeah, let me close it. Close it because damn browser does take up more resource. So I have it open on my browser. So let me go ahead and ensure that if it connects anyways. Damn it, man. Now it's not connecting. No, never mind. It is. Whew. I was about to say. All right, so just kind of FYI, so you see, I'm remoting into the server that's running SharePoint, right? I ran the script, boom, it worked fine. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna show you. I'm now connected to SharePoint, but I'm not in the server. I'm connecting it to my local, PC that I'm streaming on right now, and this is the list that I created. I try to mimic it just like the way I did in my SharePoint video, which again is called client. It's running slow, but it's because damn, all the resources are being utilized. Um, what the hell, man? How did not? I know there's a list in here. Let me do a refresh, see if it brings it up. I'm gonna have to add more memory to this, man, because it is running so damn slow. I wasn't trying to do that because I'm not trying to pay extra for what I'm trying to do, but I think it's fine if I only run it for another day or two. So let's try again. Go to list. There's a list in here, man. I don't know why it's acting up this way. But this client list is ultimately the same list that I created, very similar to in the video that I had. I try to mimic it as much as possible. It's supposed to show the damn list, but it's not showing. It's kind of frustrating on why. But again, man, SharePoint is so resource heavy, man. Um, so I have Miss Alicia join in, sending a comment about great videos. So appreciate the love. All right, so there is a list. It just, man, again, I don't see like everything, right? Something went wrong, something's happening. Let me go back to the server again. Let me. The good thing about it, it worked. It worked. We saw it work. We're getting data back, and we could tell when I run the script. So the change that I did, ultimately was really just like a section of the code change, which is the um where is it at again? So the only code change that I really did was, instead of authenticating the authentication process, you need to do slightly different, which in this case is to the NTLM authentication, which is like network. It's like a Microsoft network authentication protocol, and you do that through on-prem. And then, of course, your username is not going to be your email. Your username is going to be whatever corporate domain you're using to log in right to your corporate computer, which is normally domain / So let's say you work for AT&T. Maybe it's probably something like ATT. That's your domain / and then, of course, first initial, last name, or something like that. Whatever, whatever pattern they use for usernames. And then, of course, your password is whatever the hell your password is. And you know what? I don't think I had to change my URL to local. I think I left it as is and it worked. Let me do a restart of everything and see if that fixes the issue. I don't know if it's going to fix it or not, but let's see. Again, I think that main issue I'm having is resource related, dude. It still should be an issue though, man. I get that I am using a lot of memory, but I mean, it's still got 18% free. Like, damn, it still should work. Let's try it again. Let's see if it even works now. It may end up giving me a out of memory error message. See how it's taking a long time? Yep, it's still going. See, now I'm 90% utilization. Still going up, 91, 92. I'll tell you, I think that's what it is, man. I may have to, I guess tomorrow, at least I know it worked, man. It did work, which is awesome. That's the good thing about it. Damn, I bet you I'm going to get an out of memory message. I'm getting kind of high. So, nevertheless, it worked. That's a good thing. I think what I'm going to have to do, and I'll do this tomorrow, probably since I know this worked now, when I make my video, is I need to add more resources to it, more memory. How much memory do I even have on here, man? I know I have, damn, there you go, 7 gigs. 2 threads. So what I may have to upgrade to where the 4 thread 16 gig memory. And that shouldn't cause any issues either. I should be fine. But I need to probably do that for the video that I'm going to make tomorrow related to on-prem. But nevertheless, the test that I did worked, which is awesome. Let's see. Is it still having issues? Yep. I don't know why the hell this is having issues the way it is. It's slow as well too. So either way, I'm pretty sure it has to do with the memory, man. That's why I'm not getting no data back. So if that's the case, then once I add more memory to it tomorrow, I should be able to get my data back. But nevertheless, it's a list which ultimately has these values. If we take a look at it, right? This, which is street, city, postal, then of course, what else? State. I think that's it. It was just those key. I had name, title. There it goes. Title is Mark. So this solved that issue on connecting with on-prem. So that's a good thing. At least we were able to figure that out. Let me go ahead and shut this out. So anybody who did watch the video that we're dealing with, and let me go ahead and open up Visual Studio Code. The main change that we did here was we're connecting now. We're passing our credentials through the request NTOM. Again, NTOM against like network. It's a Microsoft authentication protocol, pretty much. So we're ultimately that's we're connecting with that. As you can see, we scroll down. We're not connecting this way anymore. This is for the Office 365. Ultimately, what we're doing is we're passing these credentials in the auth section of the site. By doing so, it'll authenticate us. Once we're authenticated, then we could do, follow the normal list, which is, what am I doing here? Auth. Where is auth at? There it goes, right here. So my authentication, we got the auth site, and then in here, when this gets called, we're passing the list name, and then boom, we get our list items. Straightforward. Let me not share my. I need to look at something in my JSON file, but I don't want to share my credentials. So let me hide that real quick. Let's see. Okay, cool. Just wanted to confirm. So what I'm going to do for now, I'm going to actually delete my credentials so I can share with y'all with what I'm seeing. All right, so if we take a look at my JSON file, it looks different than what it was for the Office 365 version, right? We have username, which is, again, this is the domain. You got to put 2 forward slashes, and then it's your username. Username could be forward initial, last name, last initial, first name. Just all depends on how the company has it. Password, and then you would have your URL, which will be your domain for your Sharepoint, and then you're gonna have to specify same thing, right? Sharepoint sites development, pretty much. This knows which site to connect to, and then once you connect it to that site, then you'll be able to connect to whatever list is associated to the site, which is pretty much what we did. So that's a good thing, man. At least I confirmed that this actually works. We got data back, as you could tell. This is connected to the on-prem, so that was awesome to see this work. It worked. So all of this that I did, the pain in the ass piece, in my mind with the whole setting up SharePoint on this remote server. That was a pain in the ass. But nevertheless, again, at the end of the day, that's what I'm trying to do here, man. I'm trying to help y'all out. I got a free request about how to connect to on-prem SharePoint. So at least now it's been tested. It works. I'll be able to share that. I'll make a video so, you know, I could share that with everybody. And then hopefully those for the ones that were asking, you know, about that, this should help y'all out. Not just connect to the cloud version, but the on-prem version as well. So this was awesome, man. This at least for me, I'm excited because this was awesome to kind of see it. It's always exciting, right? You know, you put time and effort something, then you know you want to see it work, and bam, then it works. But I'm having all these other issues that relates to performance ultimately, right? I mean, so I need to fix that, but I think that's an easy fix. That's gonna be more so. I just need to add some more RAM, man. More RAM, probably 2 more threads to that VM. And then I think shouldn't have the kind of issue that I'm having right now. So I'll probably end up doing that so I can make my video tomorrow. And then once I'm all done, then I could shut that off, right? Maybe at the minimum for now, what I'll do, I won't delete the VM, but I'll shut it off. So only thing I have to pay for is the storage. And then if there is some other requests that comes up related to the on-prem, at least I already have the on-prem set up, ready to go. And then I could just, you know, do some testing and make a video over it as well. So that's the plan anyways. So man, at least it was exciting for me, man. It was exciting to kind of test this out. I already did some testing initially, but I was getting stuck on a specific piece. Now that we walked through it, I realized that piece I was getting stuck on was more so related to server, right? My server just running out of memory. But either way, now it was good to see it work. So it turned out good. So what time is it? It's 10:49. So I got about 11 minutes left in my stream. So yeah, I think that's gonna be the plan with this video, man. With this SharePoint on-prem, I'll make this video next. Then after that, I'll make the video of the request that we were talking about earlier of moving SharePoint files over to an S3 bucket. So that's something that will probably be next. And I may end up testing some of that maybe in our live stream as well. So some of it get tested. But either way, that will be the next video to make. Let me go back to my camera. I forgot I was still in this screen. Let's see. Cool. So I think for me, one of my plans is just me kind of sharing, you know, some of my thoughts, I guess, on how. So I have a business. I mentioned it a few times. We do a lot of software development for. We do integration, software development, and data management, things of that nature for our clients. Well, some of the clients that I have, they've been clients of mine for a while. 4 years when I started. Some been 3 years. Others been a year and a half. They all been with me for a while, and even got some newer ones. Been a few months, but they're still around. And so all of that piece of the business have been going good, and everything's, you know, going the right path, right? Which is always good, right? It's not going down; it's going up. So, which had allowed me to hire somebody. I have a contractor as well to help out. So I got, you know, some people as well assisting with everything, which is good. It makes it easier. It's not all on me either, right? But one of the things that I wanted to do, I kind of envisioned and kind of hope to do. Not when I say hope, is I'm going to put effort and do it, but I do hope that it comes to pass, right, over time. And ultimately that's going to happen with getting more followers and things of that nature. But one of the things that I kind of, if it goes down that path the right way, which I'm hoping, is I actually want to build a small team. When I say small, like maybe one or two people, but that would help out. And ultimately, our goal would be kind of like what I'm doing now, which is I'm getting requests of issues, like real issues, right? Like real, try to solve real solutions for issues that relate to their, maybe a task at their job or whatever it is, right? Where we could help them out, and of course, we will stream the process. We'll make videos over the process, right? Maybe just like the way I think in one of my streams a few weeks back, it was like, hey, I want to be able to do kind of the whole brute force attack, but on a worksheet, not a workbook. So I did a video related to a workbook, but we wanted to test that out on a worksheet. And we did it on the live stream. We fixed it. We tried it out, and it worked. And it worked like a charm. And things like that, right? But I know those are a little bit more what I call smaller projects, which we could test out and get done during a 2-hour stream. Well, if things go good, I would like to do that even at a bigger scale, where we're pushing out more context. Did I say it right? But we're creating more videos based on the requests that we're getting. So it will be actual, again, real examples of stuff that people are asking for. But also we'll do live streams, and we'll do like longer live streams where maybe like a 4-hour live stream and things of that nature, where we would actually, be working live, like let's say me and then somebody else in the same time, where we will be like, all right, this is the issue that this viewer is having. And we would debug it live, we would code it live, we would test it out live. Like the whole purpose of it would be we will solve that issue that the viewer is having live. And hopefully, and dependence on how many, depends on how big of an issue it is. Maybe it's one of those deals where we could solve 2 or 3 issues, or requests, better yet, on a per live stream. And then ultimately get to the point where maybe we have a few sessions of that, right? Like we have a live stream where we're just talking, going over tech, doing different things, kind of like what we're doing now. Then we have another session where we would actually do live streams of trying to help people out with their code, right? Review code, any issues that they have, try to solve it as we're streaming. So that's kind of that's something I would love to do as time goes on, to actually like have somebody on the payroll that would be part of my team, and then we will do that. But I'm not there yet, and the reason why I say I'm not there yet from a sense of, the views, as I get more followers, as the views grow, the streams grow, all of that, as I get more requests. Right now I could pretty much handle whatever requests I'm getting. But as all of that seems to grow, then that's where I think it would make sense to do that. But that's kind of where I'm kind of thinking right now. I would love to get at right in the future. Maybe it's a year from now, who knows? But that would be something that, because I have not seen nothing like that right now on YouTube. Like there's a lot of good videos out there, a lot of good streams, live streams, things of that nature. But I have not seen nobody. I haven't, like, man, by all means, if there's somebody out there, man, let me know. I would like to, like, see what they're doing. But I haven't seen a streamer, a content creator, do that, where they're actually, again, and what I'm talking about is strictly for free. I'm not talking about for pay, where you got to give me money or nothing. That's not what I'm talking about at all. Everything that I'm talking about strictly on a free basis, right? Like I'm doing everything, it's on my own time to begin with. But a creator that's doing that, where it's like, all right, like we're going to help you out, right? Me being the content creator, and if I have a small team, we're going to get requests from viewers of certain issues, and we're gonna spend time on our side to solve some of these problems. Stream on how we, maybe as we trying to solve it, we're streaming it as well, right? Because again, it's, that's at the end of the day, that's how, in my mind, in order for it to become, um, to continue that, that's where the views come in, and ultimately, if anything, money will come from the streaming side, not from a hey, you got to pay me side or nothing like that. But again, to be able to do that, right, to kind of help out as people have issues and whatever, and we could stream it live, and that's my goal. We'll see. We'll see if I get there. I wanna be there, and I think I'm ready to start dedicating more time to do that. I think right now, just more so, just gotta wait, be patient, let the channel grow. Hopefully, with over time, get more viewers, more followers, and then I think the demand or the more requests that comes in, then would justify to do that, right? So that's just an idea, a vision that I have in my mind that I think it would be cool to do, because I haven't seen nobody do that, right? To kind of have a live stream saying, send your request of what you want us to code up for you, or what issue you're having with, or what you would like to do. Kind of like what we talked about earlier about the whole, let's download files from Sharepoint, send to S3. That would in my mind, that would be like, man, like stuff like that where let's live stream it. Let's do it from scratch. We'll do it from the beginning to end. Everybody can see the process. If we get stuck, people can see the process of what we do to do research to figure out how do we solve for this. Because there is a process, right? Just because, like I know programming doesn't mean that I know whatever packages, I have all the packages memorized. If I'm using a specific package, maybe that I never used before, well, there's a process to that. The process is I need to go read up on the docs, on the package docs. Let me get familiar with how to use the functions that belong to that package and all that stuff, right? Or what everything does. Like, there's a process to that. It's not like, oh, I just because I'm a Python programmer, I just happen to know how the package magically works. That's not the case, right? There is a process to it, and I think that would be cool to show that from beginning to end. On we're gonna do this. This is how we connect. Do this. Do all of that stuff, and I'm trying to build on that now, which is why I created a Microsoft Office 365 account that is kind of what I want to call for like strictly YouTube videos, which means there's nothing private in for that account or any of that. So if I ever share any of that information, any files, any data, whatever, it doesn't matter, right? Like, it's one of those, it's a dummy account to do testing, to be able to show on YouTube. So I started creating that account. I think what I may need to do is create another account for AWS. Same thing, that would be just for strictly all of my testing that I do, any video that I make. So like that, I could share all of the process. I could share the screen, share everything that's going on. I don't have to worry about compromising anything, because it's just a sandbox account type deal, right? So that's the plan. Hopefully, we get there. And those of y'all who have been following, watching my videos, man, I do appreciate it, man. I really do. So thanks for all of that, for spending your time watching my streams, watching my videos. And then right now I'm just in the process trying to hopefully grow little bit by little bit, and then eventually take it to another level. At least in my mind, that's the way I see it anyway. So we'll see how things go. It's already 11 o'clock, guys. Again, those of y'all who joined the stream, man, appreciate it. Much love, much thanks. And again, any issues you have, feel free to email me at contact@imlu.net, and then or just mention it in one of the streams. Be more than happy to help you out any way I can. And look out for new videos coming out soon.